my life pass by and dig my grave a shovel a day. Born to work, born to die, in my shallow grave I'll lay. Buried in a coffin made of books I bought and never read, engraved with all the foolish things I wish I'd never said. Surrounded by the trinkets I've amassed throughout my days, in praise of my Lord Bezos, 'cause plastic never decays. Dead inside but buried alive, alive inside the coffin. Coffin choking, already rotting, a nice place to die off in. Escape it while you can, I'm too far gone to save a life of luxury. It's what I was bred to crave. I'll count my golden coins as I hide out in my cave, and all these charms and baubles I will take them to my grave. Chinese sweatshop tears in a locket locked around my neck, was the noose I used to hang myself, and not for every check. All wrapped up in bubble wrap, a place to rest my head. I only lay down for a nap, but I died in here instead. This flower bed where I reside is tainted, nothing grows. My luxury coffin will live on as inside I decompose. To rest in plastic was my fate, I tried to buy my peace. I filled my coffin with pretty things, but the cravings didn't cease. Escape it while you can, I'm too far gone to save a life of luxury. Is what I was bred to crave. I'll count my golden coins as I hide out in my cave, and all these charms and baubles I will take them to my grave. This coffin is my cardboard cocoon, these parcels fill my luxury too. I wish that I could take some more of them with me, but sadly there just isn't room. Escape it while you can, I'm too far gone to save a life of luxury. Is what I was bred to crave. I'll count my golden coins as I hide out in my cave, and all these charms and baubles I will take them to my grave. To rest in peace and rest in plastic. Please, just one more piece of plastic. I'll sell an arm or sell a leg, there'll be room for just one more to keep me company in my tomb as I struggle to close the door. A scarecrow with a phobia of being left behind, he tried to make friends with the birds to free him from his binds. Please peg through these ropes and loose me from this cross. He screamed at them to help him, but he just scared them off. He stood amongst his withered crops, bleaching in the sun. Drying out his dying shout was, what did I become? A desiccated, desecrated, ill-fated, poison-baited man who waited and became dated, deflated and sedated. He's a lonely sundial out in a field, scared of his own shadow, watching as his time runs out, building his own gallows. Fallow fields stretch out for miles, rain clouds looming overhead, leaking straw out of his clothes, leaking hope out of his head. He used to be so full of zeal, stuffed amongst his straw, ambitions all now reduced to a pile upon the floor. Empty clothes and rotting dreams all return to the soil. Empty dreams and rotting clothes all left out to spoil. He lay amongst his withered dreams to which he did succumb. Straw bleeding out his dying shout was what did I become? Frayed and faded, empty, wasted, damaged and disintegrated. A man who let himself be so easily persuaded. Strawman Martyr used to be the farmer. Now he's nailed upon the cross. Strawman Martyr just kept on working harder. Now he lies covered in moss. A desiccated, desecrated, ill-fated, poison-baited man who waited and became dated, deflated and sedated, frayed and faded, empty, wasted, damaged and disintegrated. A man who let himself be so easily persuaded. Listen to the cage bird sing as it flaps wings wrapped in puppet strings. It dangles from its tiny perch. The floor's too full of shiny things. The open window tossed nearby. He gazes at an endless sky and yearns to break his bonds and fly. And that's why did he buy this lie? He struggles hard against his knots. They cut into his feathers. The blood he draws begins to clot as he pulls against his tethers. The red he's earned begins to set and glues his wings together. The bread he's earned but didn't get gone mold he loves forever. He's dying to live as he rots inside his prison. He's screaming from his heart, but nobody will listen. Is this living? Is this living? Is this living? Does no one even hear the sound of this sick bird? Drowning in his tears, choking on his words. Silent through his days, he sings his song at night. And in his cage decays, forlorn he longs for flight. He sang so loud upon deaf ears, he lost his feeble voice. He bought this gilded cage himself, this fatal fate his choice. He croaks at last to no avail with the little breath he's left, and stares out listless from his jail, broken and bereft. He's dying to live as he rots inside his prison. Screaming from his heart, but nobody will listen. Is this living? Is this living? Is this living? Living is killing him. He's screaming in his rage, dying on the inside as he dies inside his cage. He's dying to live as he rots inside his prison. He's screaming from his heart, but nobody will listen. Is this living? Is this living? Is this living? Eyes of glowing green, worshipping the screen. Acolytes for gigabytes, thumbs trapped in the machine. Bright light, blind sight, dead-eyed hindsight, mindless shuffling zombies murmuring their midnight mind plight, bearing arcane artifacts held up to the sky. And to sustain their servitude they swallow another lie, with handheld stone tablets, a pill to kill the brain. Hands held tight, just fragments of themselves remain. Future archaeologists will scratch their heads in wonder at what befell these people, what tragic twisted blunder. And in the soil, buried in the depths of someone's grave, they'll find a broken phone amongst the bones of his poor slave, a statue of their god to watch over them while they decay, a figurine to hold time as their bodies waste away. Druids are habitual, self-sacrifice, death ritual. The prophecy was realized, their future was predictable. With handheld self-torture devices, they succumb to their vices. A bewildered, mildewed million minds paid a lifetime's painful prices. Sit in silent, sedentary, now down before the reliquary. A tiny icon for which to pray, a tiny master to obey, a blessed box to crawl inside and hide the past of them that died, and unscroll the obituary and sequester in the cemetery. Future archaeologists will scratch their heads in wonder at what befell these people, what tragic twisted blunder. And in the soil, buried in the depths of someone's grave, they'll find a broken phone amongst the bones of his poor slave. And with this discovery, they'll rightfully proclaim, we pray before this relic, this thing without a name. But will they understand the truth of what became of that sycophantic cult, and where to ascribe the blame? Lemmings with a death wish, marching gladly off a cliff, smiling as they're buying ropes to choke themselves with. The gun sounds, the rouse run, they race over the brink, and carry with them any rat that stops to think. And in their dreams they're flying, soaring above the earth. They flap their arms as they're falling to their death towards the earth. But they're landing in a strange land, a maze of shiny wares, a hall of mirrors, a warren of snares, a nest of opulence with so much food to eat. But they were being farmed for their meat. Paradise was paved over to build a playground on it, but underneath the concrete there lived some rodents hiding from it. They agreed to share their food and watch each other's backs. They vowed to forego comfort and not take cheese from traps. But there was one rat who couldn't bear the toil. He couldn't stand the damp, couldn't take the cold wet soil. He had heard a rumour of a place beyond the cliff where heaven waited for him, maybe just a myth. So he snuck away one night and headed for the ledge, and with his face serene threw himself over the edge. And in his dreams he was flying, soaring above the earth. He flapped his arms as he was falling to his death towards the earth. But he landed in a strange land, a maze of shiny wares, a hall of mirrors, a warren of snares. Blissfully unaware, with so much food to eat, he got caught in a snare and became meat. He died in a strange land, a maze of shiny wares, a hall of mirrors, a warren of snares. Blissfully unaware, with so much food to eat, he got caught in a snare and became meat. energy has waned and fled. I'm exhausted, drained and maimed and bled. This pain in both my souls is causing this throbbing pain inside my head. I felt my lifeblood flow and ebb, stuck tangled in this tragic web. Curse along and linger longer and pull these leg irons till I'm dead. Ball and chain around my feet, cutting through the tender meat. I'll lamely limp along the street till they lay me limp on the concrete. It's a long walk down memory lane when your soul's racked with pain. The endless march is all in vain when you're pulling taut against your chains. Like around a wheel that's forgotten what's real, I ran the race in chains of steel. I pulled the slip, not ever tired, to chase a putrid poison meal. I fell for a rotten deal, fell prey to those who wait to steal the dreams of those whose fate they seal. Fallen to my knees I kneel. Nothing of myself remains, just phantom pains and old blood stains. Broken fossils left to weather, washed away by acid rains. It's a long walk down memory lane when your souls are racked with pain. The endless march is all in vain when you're pulling taut against your chains. Do you still remember the exuberance of youth, filled with misplaced confidence, feeling bulletproof? Will someone help me pull this rotten wisdom too? I wish that I could go back before I learned the truth. It's a long walk down memory lane when your souls are racked with pain. The endless march is all in vain when you're pulling taut against your chains. I escaped from the matrix, but I'm still in the simulation. I fell for the stage tricks, got used to exploitation. Now I can see reality, but I'm still trying to escape. I feel too old, my best years are sold, and my body's reduced to ache. Every utopia is a dystopia in disguise, a blinding stage show spectacle played out before your eyes, a perfectly practiced puppet show to hypnotize, another carefully choreographed dance of lies, a tragic comedy filmed on CCTV. So much smoke behind the curtain, it's getting hard to see, it's getting hard to breathe. Smoke and mirrors make believe, but this puppet string around my throat makes it so hard to leave. We're just clowns in the circus, we're just pawns in the game. It only has one purpose, to keep us all tame. We're all part of the act, watching ourselves on stage. These blinding lights distract us as we walk into our cage. A plastic pantomime of dystopian design distracts a million eyes and assures us everything is fine. We smile and nod our mouths again and watch the spectacle as we squint our eyes and peer through our rose-tainted spectacles. Strapped into the theatre chair, ready for the operation, drugged and bound and gagged to ensure cooperation. It's too late for me already, I know, so I guess I'll just switch off my brain and enjoy the show. We're just clowns in the circus, we're just pawns in the game. It only has one purpose, to keep us all tame. We're all part of the act, watching ourselves on stage. These blinding lights distract us as we walk into our cage. Life's a comedy sketch and everyone's an actor. Human pets playing fetch to death and in canned laughter. We're just clowns in the circus, we're just pawns in the game. It only has one purpose, to keep us all sane. We're all part of the act, watching ourselves on stage. These blinding lights distract us as we walk into our cage. There was a dog who had a dream of chewing through his chain. With broken teeth his belly growled as he lay there tame. He sniffed for something small to satisfy his hungry soul. Anything to fill him up, a thing to make him whole. He had an empty hole to fill. He gorged and gorged himself until his poor insides could take no more. And with his life he paid the bill. He stuffed so much stuff inside, but no matter how hard he tried, the hole just stretched and grew and grew. And that is how that poor dog died. A breadcrumb trail of emptied entrails leading from the kennel door. A tragic tale of wagging tails. That poor bulldog that begged for more. His belly finally popped one day while all the other dogs did play. 'Cause on his fetid bed he lay and ate his life away. He kept his demons buried deep under lock and key, but like his tangled guts they're now laid out for all to see. This catalogue of fails and tales and trails are met within a life of greed and luxury, a life of pain and sin. These rabid beasts will not be freed from collar or lead by greed. Vapid feasts of wants and needs or endless bowls of feed. A breadcrumb trail of emptied entrails leading from the kennel door. A tragic tale of wagging tails. That poor bulldog that begged for more. Bones buried in the garden, holes dug by tooth and claw, buried with his food bowl. It's that poor dog who begged for more. A breadcrumb trail of emptied entrails leading from the kennel door. A tragic tale of wagging tails. That poor bulldog that begged for more. The pendulum of the clock swings to mesmerize and fill the empty brains with rot and mollify a million minds. Tick-tocks and ticking clocks overrun with program bots. A vapid vein and vacuous dopamine intravenous shot. My brain is slowing down, I can't concentrate. My IQ is going down at a constant rate. I should have smashed my phone, now it's too late. This Truman Show I'm part of, man it don't feel so true. I'm stuck in a world of characters and I'm one too. The brain rot has set in, the viral sickness. Now it's coming for you too. Aesthetics to anesthetize, hypnotize and paralyze. Synthetic masks and happy lies, disguises to enchant your eyes. To fascinate these fools of fate and captivate the captives and keep the common man sedate, useless and inactive. These shiny short-lived reels, they just don't seem that real. Please send down from the algorithm something that makes me feel. This Truman Show I'm part of, man it don't feel so true. I'm stuck in a world of characters, and I'm one too. The brain rot has set in, the viral sickness. Now it's coming for you too. And there's nothing you can do. This Truman Show I'm part of, man, it don't feel so true. I'm stuck in a world of characters, and I'm one too. The brain rot has set in, the viral sickness. Now it's coming for you too. And there's nothing you can do. I'll hang a dream catcher on my window frame to keep out all these poison thoughts invading my brain. I'm almost full to bursting, so pumped full of dreams. Pre-death taxidermy corpse ripping at the seams, mummified and embalmed with sweetened salves and ointments, saccharine disillusions and disappointments. Sarcophagus with a typhoon lid, inside is where my dreams are hid, collected like my broken bones in the night when I was a kid. These bandages aren't enough to fix a broken soul. This stuffing and embalming fluid will never fill the hole. This desiccated husk of what I used to be is crying tears of dust and longing to be free. This skeleton of mine in the closet with his friends, dreaming dreams of freedom, got used for malicious ends. An optimistic daydream mystic cast its spell upon me, a hex to vex and hypnotise another brainwashed zombie. Now I wander with eyes glazed and wonder what became of that dreaming free-range kid who was so easily tamed. These bandages aren't enough to fix a broken soul. This stuffing and embalming fluid will never fill the hole. This desiccated husk of what I used to be is crying tears of dust and longing to be free. In a coffin buried in the woods, packed amongst its grave goods, is a living taxidermy subject, epitaph written in its own blood, tangled up in bandages. A strangled mummy languishes, alive but still not living, watching as his future vanishes. And on his gravestone reads it lies, a broken man stuffed full of lies. For every dream unrealised, another boy inside him dies. These bandages aren't enough to fix a broken soul. This stuffing and embalming fluid will never fill the hole. This desiccated husk of what I used to be is crying tears of dust and longing to be free. I'm a product of my time, production line, failed design, made from bits of broken phones, broken plastic and broken bones. A cyborg with a human heart, my last remaining body part. I paid to give it all away, addicted from the very start. My brain's been rendered obsolete, the final update is complete, but I just haven't felt the same since they sold me this external brain. All this corrupted data coursing through my veins, here came my chains, upload me to the cloud, and I will live forever. Plastic buried in the ground lasts forever. I waste away day by day, tethered to the wall, and cursed the day I became his prey. I pray for my final call, permanently plugged in on standby, a captive of this wall I stand by, trapped and wrapped around the hand by cables as I shrivel and die, and lie bound upon the ground. Around my neck the cable wound, and die down in my tears, drowned and cry and choke without a sound. The light flickers out as the battery dies, as the light flickers out from beyond my eyes. Heart slows down, no blood flows now, welcome to a cyborg's demise. All this corrupted data coursing through my brain became my pain. Oh, blow me to the cloud and I will live forever. Plastic buried in the ground lasts forever. Infected by the virus, the terminal disease, my soul will rest in landfill, in a pile of burnt CDs. Oh, blow me to the cloud and I will live forever. Plastic buried in the ground lasts forever. All those upgrades took their toll, they overtaxed the heart. It pumped and pumped but it couldn't keep up until it fell apart. I wrote this song on my phone, and after I pressed send to send it to myself, to pretend I had a friend, transmissions from the oubliette, a ransom from a household pet, an invoice scrawled in blood from another soul in debt, a note from a hostage to show what it's cost him. The line went dead. Whoops, we've lost him. Lock me up inside this cage and throw away the key. Not a penny can be saved till I pay the release fee. Oh, work and no play makes for an acquiescent peasant that slowly fades away. In my cage I'll stay, a tightly tethered tenant, 'cause I've got bills to pay. I've been trapped in storage since I began this mortgage, free to fantasize about my free time shortage. Life is ticking by, I'm growing old before my eyes as I sit in my cell and pine for a life that didn't materialize. Time is running out, they say age makes a man wise, but I have my doubts as I pull tight against my ties. Life begins at 68, when it's almost done. Let's hope it's worth the wait, then we'll finally have some fun. Oh, work and no play makes for an acquiescent peasant that slowly fades away. In my cage I'll stay, a tightly tethered tenant, 'cause I've got bills to pay. Will I be too old and tired when I'm retired? I was trained now to behave, now I can party in my grave. Oh, work and no play makes for an acquiescent peasant that slowly fades away. In my cage I'll stay, a tightly tethered tenant, 'cause I've got bills to pay. Welcome to the fall of Rome, an episode to binge watch on your phone, together with a billion apathetic eyes locked away alone inside their homes. bathing in the heat as the buildings burn. Gambled every last penny when we took our turn. Took a turn for the worse, thought we knew it all, when it was our turn to learn. Nothing lasts forever, so let's watch it all burn together. Underneath these blackened skies of rising seas and extreme weather, we'll put up our feet and watch the collapse out the corner of our eyes as we scroll through apps. Just sit back and relax and don't pay no mind like big tech pays no tax. I'll stare in silence at the wall as brick by brick it all begins to fall. The signs are clear, the end is near, and I don't care at all. Just ignore the facts, praise the rats, feed the fat cats and ignore the stats. Buy another pair of shoes and ignore the news and ignore the hospital drone attacks. Sniff the ashes to numb the brain, lines of debris and self-made chains. Drown in the dust of misplaced trust and watch the waste as the world wanes. Nothing lasts forever, so let's watch it all burn together. Underneath these blackened skies of rising seas and extreme weather, injecting the precursors to the collapse, ingesting the poison coming out of the taps. Sit and stare, detached and clap at the growing wealth inequality gap. Infected by apathy, drunk on the lies, infested by fantasy, maggots and flies. We'll hold our phones up to the skies and through the camera lens watch our demise. I'll stare in silence at the wall as brick by brick it all begins to fall. The signs are clear, the end is near, and I don't care at all. Society crumbled as the buildings tumbled. The zombies blindly stumbled and watched it all fall through their phones and mumbled. Nothing lasts forever, so let's watch it all burn together. Underneath these blackened skies of rising seas and extreme weather.